This morning on the Ag Issues program. A pleasure, as always, to bring on to the program, as we normally do this time of year, as a matter of fact. Reid is joining us, K-State Extension Farm Economist, as she joins us on the program this morning. Robin, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
And also on the program this morning, LaVell Winsor, K-State Farm Analyst, who's also joining us on the program this morning. LaVell, good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Thanks for having us.
Well, and the reason why we have Robin and LaVell on, it's our annual chat about K-State Ag Economics, presenting an online class, Finances and the Farm. And the class is to enhance your farm management skills. And there's a lot to talk about here as well. So, Robin, I'm going to start with you. As far as what this class is concerned, what are some of the things that are covered in this course?
Well, it might be first interesting to start off with, why are we promoting a K-State course? We are obviously doing a lot of classes here at K-State, but this one in particular is really geared for farmers and ranchers, not K-State students. This is really a foundational course in farm management principles, where we talk about how do you develop a balance sheet, income statement, enterprise budgets, and a cash flow statement, and then analyze those and make farm management decisions using that knowledge. So again, this is a course that's online, and it's not for K-State students, it's for producers out there. So anybody that wants to register for the class can do so.
And we should note, LaVell, if people want to register for the class, there is they can go to the Ag Manager site for Kansas State University.
Yes, the best way to register for the class is to go to agmanager.info, and then there is an events tab, and down below that events tab, they can find Finances and the Farm, along with several other programs that K-State offers, and they can just click on that and do the registration from there.
Well, one of the big things too is the importance of this course right now is kind of heightened, one would think, LaVell, especially of what we're seeing with the downturn in the ag economy.
Yeah, we really have been coming into a tricky environment in the agricultural economy. A lot of issues with interest rates, input cost, lower commodity prices, and all of the pieces that go into those things. And so it's a great time. Not only is it a great time of the year, because a lot of people are working on paperwork during the winter time, but it's also a great time just in the economic environment to hone our skills on our record keeping and what we're taking away from our records. And one thing that's a little bit unique about the Finances and the Farm course, when we designed this, it is designed to be a very practical, hands-on application for farmers. And a lot of the work that I do and the other farm analysts, we are out there working with people one-on-one on their farms. We also work with their lenders and understand how their lenders are looking at some of these financial documents. And we try to bring that into the class so that farmers can understand what their lenders might be looking at in their financial statements, and then how farmers can actually use those documents as planning tools and management tools on their own farm. And that really is the key that we want people to take away, is to improve what they're doing with their numbers so that they can make better decisions going forward.
And Robin, as you mentioned earlier, this is a class designed for farmers and ranchers out there, but it's really one too that you can go at your own pace, because if it's 70 degrees outside, what are farmers going to do? They're going to get out into the fields. They're going to do something outside. But if it's 10 degrees outside, we know what they're going to do. They're not going to be outside if they don't have to. But as talking about what LaVell did, what makes that course different, the practicality and at going at the farm level itself, but also the ability to have that hands-on activities too.
Yeah, so again, this course is designed with the producer in mind. So when you register for the class, you actually have 6 months to complete the class. But most people take the class within 2 to 3 weeks, just doing a lesson a couple nights a week or so. And it is at your own pace. So if you, like you said, if there's a day where it's a lot better to be outside, you can wait till the next day and do another lesson when the weather is not so nice. So it's really designed to be convenient. And again, you take it all online at your own home or office or wherever is most convenient for you. Another thing I want to mention is this class is really designed for a lot of different types of producers. So when you go into a lesson, you're going to watch a series of short videos that kind of presents the educational content. And then you'll go through some interactive activities to help you apply what you learned, and then actually take that financial statement, put numbers into it, and analyze it. And in doing so, we have 2 different case farms for each participant to work with. One is our traditional row crops, cattle operation that a lot of our Kansas producers can relate to. But we also have one that's more of a vegetable, honeybee, laying hen kind of farm that gears more towards farmers markets, maybe CSA, and really helps also teach in that setting the same farm management principles. So again, trying to make this class so any type of producer in Kansas and actually surrounding states can take this course as well.
So, LaVell, as Robin talked about some of the particular things you can do with that, for the course, there are seven lessons that will be discussed during this course too.
Yeah, so we start out with the basics of record keeping because, of course, that is the basis for everything that you do with your own farm records. And then we go into balance sheets and income statements and cash flow. We also do enterprise budgeting and family living expenses and goal setting. And the way that we designed this course, as Robin, kind of build on what Robin was saying, is each one is a module of its own. You have hands-on activities to try to understand what works well with it. But then what we really like to see people do is, say you go through the balance sheet module, then go ahead after you're done with that module, build your own balance sheet, get that ready, take the information and get it ready. When you go through the enterprise budgeting, which is going to be critically important this year with input costs and the low commodity prices, build those enterprise budgets and talk with your ag retailer, get your seed, fertilizer, chemical costs, and build that for yourself so that you can understand a little bit better what that's going to look like for the 2025 year. And so that's how we designed it, is so that it's, one, you take the lesson, hone some of the skills, but then implement it on your own operation. And then you have, a whole suite of those financial documents prepared for yourself that you can use, and you can go to your banker or whoever you need to, and just even within your own farm, make those decisions.
Joining us on the Ag Issues program this morning, Robin Reid, K-State Extension Farm Economist, and LaVell Winsor, K-State Farm Analyst. And stay with us on 580 WIBW. We'll have more on this edition of the Ag Issues program right after this. We're back on the Ag Issues program this morning here on 580 WIBW. We're talking about K-State Ag Economics presenting an online class, Finances in the Farm, to enhance your farm management skills. And if you'd like more information, go to agmanager.info and click on the events tab. Joining us on the program, LaVell Winsor, K-State Farm Analyst, and Robin Reid, K-State Extension Farm Economist. I've been trying to think back, Robin, how many years has this course been offered in this online form, or at least offered to farmers?
Yeah, so this course actually came out of a program LaVell and I did as a research and extension program, and it was a hybrid delivery where we were here at campus and we were live broadcasting to 32 different locations across the state. That was back in 2020 before COVID, and we had 685 participants that were part of that original program. We then obviously went through COVID and couldn't deliver in-person events for a while, so we decided to make this into an online course. And after recording all the videos and putting it together, that launched in January of 2021. And since then, we've had over 285 participants take that class as an online class. So it has been highly successful in the amount of producers that have gone through the class and the feedback that we've received on what they've learned, how they've taken their statements, went to their lender, went to their farm service agency office, and actually used what they learned and developed through the class in the production setting. So it's been a great success, and we just want to make sure everybody's aware of this opportunity.
Now, the difference, and either one of you can answer that, when this first started, what did we see? Commodity prices doing great. Now we switched to 2024 or now 2025 in this case, but we know what happened in 2024. How much do you think that has changed? Maybe not the way this is taught, or what the facts that are out there and what they'll be learning in this, but what you may emphasize a little bit more, a little bit less. Has there been much tweaking, knowing what the state of the ag economy is right now?
Well, if you recall, when we originally delivered this, it was in January, February of 2020. We were on the tail end of really 4 pretty bad years in agriculture, pretty bad downturn in agriculture. So that's what prompted us to develop this course. The last few years have been pretty good for those that haven't been hit by the drought here in the state of Kansas. But LaVell talked about, we are entering another time that is going to be very tight financially for our farmers and ranchers. So the course itself, I don't think really has changed, but I think the issue of farm financial management is really going to be important going forward.
But LaVell, you've had a chance to talk with several producers, and I don't think I need to tell you how tough it is out there right now. For many of those, and especially if you're a row crop producer, how tough it is right now too.
Yeah, I have sensed a lot of nervousness for maybe not quite a year, but just as market prices started to really fall down since, say, February of last year. There's been a lot of nervousness. And then I think here, as people are wrapping up the end of the year, they're also getting a better handle on how much interest rates have really impacted them. And so I think there's just a lot of people really looking hard at their numbers. And this is just a great opportunity, through a course like this. Part of it is just people who need to be farmers who need to be looking at their numbers. But another place that we've seen a lot of success in this course, people looking at this course, is maybe if there's a younger generation coming into the farm operation, and maybe the older generation and the younger generation take this course together. The older generation can show the younger generation, this is how we have been keeping our records and keeping our financial statements and things like that. And then that is a piece that the younger generation can then learn how they want to do it. And sometimes they even know some technology that might be, a little more that they want to implement into the farm. When we work with people on succession, it's not uncommon. A lot of time, the younger generation, they certainly know how to do the work that needs to be done out in the field and working with the cattle and so forth. And oftentimes they may even be buying a lot of the inputs and things like that. But the place where I usually hear people say that the younger generation hasn't been really exposed to yet is maybe the books, maybe working with the lender and those kind of things. And I don't think it's necessarily intentional on a lot of farms. I think it just it's been the habit of the older generation maybe to hang on to that aspect. But it's a great way for the younger generation to kind of segue into that and do that together for the older and the younger generation on a farm.
Yeah, because Robin, habits are hard to break. And especially if you're an older farmer who's, I won't say stubborn. Well, no, you can say stubborn in that aspect, but it's one that with this situation, an uptick, a downturn, an uptick, a downturn, uptick and downturn. It's a great lesson for that younger producer out there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we're seeing the trend continue here in the state of Kansas, all across the U.S. We just have fewer farms and larger farms, and I don't think that trend is going to reverse anytime soon. But things are changing in agriculture, and really being able to survive as a farming operation is becoming a lot more than just being good at producing corn or producing cattle. It's really managing that business financially. And so that's what this course is really focusing on, and trying to help producers to better what they're doing. You know, maybe they are doing a good job already, but there's always some good tips that you can implement that would maybe help in these downturns.
Now, one of the things too, there is a cost. Registration fee, $300 for FSA credit class, $100 for education only. So this is something new concerning FSA borrower training that has been approved for 10 additional states.
Yeah, so we were recently approved. We were always approved in Kansas since 2020, but we recognize we have a lot of people here, student-wise or other states, that would be interested in taking our class coming from an accredited university. So we recently got approval for Colorado, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, and Wyoming. So really expanding our reach, knowing our class does fit the production of all these other states as well, and trying to get this information in their hands as well.
All right. And LaVell, as we wrap this up, once again, if people want more information, you see the cost on the screen. $300 for FSA credit class, $100 for education only. But if they'd like to register for this online class, very important class as well, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, go to agmanager.info and click on the events tab and look for finances and the farm. There's one other course that's on there as well that might be of interest, which is risk management on the farm, which goes through crop insurance, government programs, and crop marketing as well. So either one of those would be great opportunities for folks.
All right. Sounds good. LaVell, as always, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Greg.
Robin Reid, always great to talk to you as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, as well, Greg. Thank you.
That is Robin Reid, K-State Extension Farm Economist, and LaVell Winsor, K-State Farm Analyst, joining us to talk about online classes, finances in the farm, online class to enhance your farm management skills. On today's edition of the Ag Issues program here on 580 WIBW. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll get an update on the news headlines, and we'll check the weather forecast. That comes up next.